Strap yourself in and get ready for a video that either A, might blow your mind, or B, make you question what you all thought to begin with about Tokyo Ghoul and Hunter x Hunter. So, as you can tell by the title says, or theorizes, that Togashi equal Ishida. For instance, the mangaka of Hunter x Hunter is Ishida, that has made the very recently famous, Tokyo Ghoul manga. And I did a bit of a research for myself for the past couple days. I was just, looking it up just to actually have fun. I was just going to make a troll video. I'm not joking. I was going to make a troll video about this topic. But then, when I started looking at some evidence and different stuff and coincidences that continue to link back and forth between Hunter x Hunter and Tokyo Ghoul, it was mind-blowing. I couldn't believe how much I saw that was very similar to both series, how they just linked up at the same time. So today, as you could probably tell, this video is very different. I'm not showing my face. You just see, Hisoka and his eye, like, Ghoul mode eye. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm actually just looking at all the different information on my computer screen, and I can do this a little bit more professional and give the proper information out. So, for right now, let's start off with the groundwork. What made me actually want to make this video? Why I wanted to make a troll video at first, but then eventually it led me into wanting to make a serious video. So, Ishida Sensei, on his Twitter, I will have the picture on the screen for you can see for yourself. This Twitter account is confirmed, and it is by Ishida. You can check for yourself. The dates are right there, February 19, 2015. I have actually retweeted that on my Twitter, so if you want to check it out, you can check it out. I have retweeted that. So, getting back to the point, you had it to where Ishida says he studied underneath the mangaka of Yoshihiro Togashi, and this is right here, this is like an obvious link between Togashi and Ishida, because Ishida came out and actually admitted and said something like this. But then this is very strange, because majority of us know that Togashi doesn't take assistance. He said many times in the past, in articles to Shonen Jump Weekly, comments, offer comments, he doesn't have any assistance. He wants to do it all by himself. He does the artwork, the story, everything by himself. He does not want help. He does everything by himself, so he does not want assistance. He takes no assistance. And this is very weird, because supposedly Ishida studied underneath Togashi when Togashi never wants assistance. Very strange. Now, you could say they're friends, but there is a lot more evidence that starts to point to different things. Now, like I said, this is the first thing I saw that made me want to make a joke video, but then it led me to finding and discovering a lot more that was just blew my mind. So, getting on to the next stuff to look at, I'll show you on the page. Let's do some groundwork first. So, here, what you're probably seeing on the screen right now, you're probably seeing a lot of circles and X's, and you're seeing, the different dates, like 2015, 2014, 2013, so forth, so on. This is the hiatus chart for Hunter x Hunter, the manga, not anime, the manga. The circles represent the hiatus. For instance, the weeks without a Hunter x Hunter chapter. The X's represent a chapter when it showed up. And to get back to the point, as you can see, around 2011 to 2012, that's when Togashi just stopped, writing, and he just went straight into a bunch of hiatuses for like an entire year. And this is very weird when you start looking at different things I'm about to show you. Now that you've got a good look at this chart, you can pause if you want a good look at it. You can compare it to, future reference when you start looking at the video. Let's go on to the next section to talk about. So, Hunter x Hunter, manga is set to return on June 2nd. It's, for instance, last year in 2014, this is on Crunchyroll if you want to verify for yourself. The article is on Crunchyroll. You can just type in Hunter x Hunter, go to news, and you will find it for yourself. Hunter x Hunter is going to return on June 2nd, 2014. This is when it was announced. It was going to be returning that date. And this was some really cool information because everybody was getting hyped up. Oh my god, Hunter x Hunter is returning. And as I showed you in the chart previously, it shows you the dates when Hunter x Hunter came back in 2014. The X is represented when the chapters appeared. And you saw a couple hiatuses in between when he did return. Moving on to the next section, you're probably wondering, okay, so what makes this very relevant to, Tokyo Ghoul, since, I'm just showing you the hiatus and, when Hunter x Hunter manga returns. So, getting into the next thing, as you can see the dates of when Hunter x Hunter, the chapters that return when it started coming out, now you get to see the different chapters when they came out. When, for instance, when a chapter came out was translated, here is when the chapters were translated, and then when it went on, a hiatus once again, after August 7th. Now, as you can see, those were the only chapters that came back after, Togashi came. Next picture right here, I'm showing you the release dates of different series. For instance, the Tokyo Ghoul anime is probably the first one you're going to be seeing on the screen. As you can see, Tokyo Ghoul's anime started on July 4th, 2014, and it ended on September 19th, 2014. Now you're thinking, okay, so what does Tokyo Ghoul's anime have to do with the fucking manga of Hunter x Hunter and Tokyo Ghoul's manga? What does it have to do? Well, look at this very strange coincidence, as I've already pointed out. See, Hunter x Hunter manga returns on June 2nd, 2014, 1 month prior until the anime of Tokyo Ghoul comes out. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so what does this really mean? It was like Togashi was getting prepped up for, the anime. Like, he was just getting down to business, going to start, writing manga to see how, it all goes, how Hunter x Hunter is doing, but also to see how the anime boosts the popularity of the Tokyo Ghoul series. Now, you're probably, hopefully you're still following me and you're understanding what I'm getting at. Going into the next thing to show you, Hunter x Hunter 2011. It begins on October 2nd and it ends on September 24th, 2014. Let's look at the dates real quick. 2011, October 2nd, that is when Hunter x Hunter 2011 began. And let's go back to the chart I showed you previously in the earlier part of this video. If you look at the dates of when Hunter x Hunter ended, like for instance when it went on a hiatus and then came back, it's very strange. If you look at the date of Tokyo Ghoul's manga, Tokyo Ghoul begins around the exact same time, like a month prior, until, the anime of Hunter x Hunter comes out. It begins a month prior. And it's strange when you start looking at this. It's like Tokyo Ghoul's manga begins in the same time Togashi returns. He returns from a long hiatus. He returns in 2011. And then for some reason, Tokyo Ghoul's manga starts around the exact same time. But look at the other date. September 18th, 2014 is when Tokyo Ghoul's manga came to a stunning conclusion that shocked us all. Look at the date of when Hunter x Hunter 2011 ended. September 24th, 2014. It's weird because it's really right next to the date of when the manga ended for Tokyo Ghoul, and Hunter x Hunter 2011 ended just around the exact same time. But you're probably still asking right now, so what does the anime have to do with the manga? It's more about boosting sales, and it's very strange coincidence how these all line up if you look at it. For instance, Tokyo Ghoul's anime ends around the exact same time as Hunter x Hunter 2011, and it ends at the exact same time as the manga of Tokyo Ghoul. All these three series end at pretty much the exact same time, but now you're probably wondering, where's the missing link at? Where's the manga of Hunter x Hunter in this entire ordeal? Look at this very closely. Hunter x Hunter manga, its final chapter is in early August. And if you realize, this is a month before Tokyo Ghoul Part 1 comes to an end, and the anime of Tokyo Ghoul and Hunter x Hunter comes to an end. This is 1 month prior until those series end. But here's the strange part. Why does this make any strange coincidences? Like, why does this link Togashi as Ishida? Like, why are they the same? For one thing, Ishida. Ishida is a pen name. If you were unaware, Ishida is not Ishida's real name. He said it in articles and on his Twitter a long time ago that it's a pen name. It's not his real name. And also, Ishida has never revealed his face. Ishida Sensei, the writer of Tokyo Ghoul, has never revealed his face. He's never revealed his true name. Now, that's very strange and odd. You could say he's shy. That's a possibility. You could say maybe he's shy, and he has said that before, but there can be another deceiving factor in this entire ordeal, which I'm about to show you. So, I want to show a little bit of artwork for you guys can see it. If you look closely, this is what Ishida posted on his Twitter on April 1st, 2015. This was an April Fool's joke, and this is actually what Ishida said, and Ishida quickly removed this post right soon after and replaced it with Hisoka saying April Fools. Now, to get back to the point, what this picture, this like weird picture that reminds you a lot of Hunter x Hunter, this was supposedly going to be a Hisoka spin-off Hunter x Hunter manga series. For instance, like I said, a Hisoka, the creepy clown from Hunter x Hunter spin-off series based on Hisoka. And the artwork instantly looks so much like Hunter x Hunter. Now, you can say it's because Ishida loves Hunter x Hunter so much. He loves Hunter x Hunter so much that he just, drew his favorite manga, just, for an April Fool's joke. But it's weird how the artwork looks very, very similar to Togashi's artwork. And let me explain something. Recently, about a month and a half back, I remember in my Ore Monogatari video, I posted that Oda drew a fan art picture of Ore Monogatari. Oda from One Piece. He drew a fan art picture of Ore Monogatari. And in the artwork, you could tell that Oda drew that picture because you could tell how Oda's art style is. For instance, Oda has this specific art style, and Togashi has a specific art style. Let's do a little bit more, research into this. If you did not know, Togashi draws his manga panels hand-drawn. He hand-draws his manga. Ishida Sensei, he draws his manga through a tablet. Now, this is kind of like a red herring. What if Ishida, or let's just go under the assumption that Togashi is Ishida, what if Togashi used a tablet to throw off people from Tokyo Ghoul not thinking it is Togashi, because the artwork looks slightly different, but there is a big key sign that there was something very off with Tokyo Ghoul. If you travel back to the beginning part of Tokyo Ghoul Part 1, the artwork, to be honest, is not that impressive. It actually does not look that good. Some of the artwork does look rather sloppy, and it does not look that good. And if you think about it, it makes sense, since Tokyo Ghoul started in the ending part of 2011, and Togashi came back for Hunter x Hunter at the end of 2011, around the exact same time Tokyo Ghoul began. It makes a lot of sense, because if you remember, right in 2011, right before it went on its long hiatus, for instance, Hunter x Hunter went on its long hiatus, and then it came back in 2014, the artwork at that time was probably some of the worst artwork that Hunter x Hunter has ever seen in its series. At the time of when it came back in 2011 and then ended in early 2012. That was the worst artwork probably in the series of Hunter x Hunter. And a bunch of readers said that. Now, think about this. Tokyo Ghoul and Hunter x Hunter were weekly series. Wouldn't it make sense if a mangaka was having a split name, for instance, a split life, hiding himself behind another name like Ishida, for instance, and writing and drawing two manga by himself weekly? Wouldn't it kind of make the artwork suffer, so to say, in another series? For instance, Hunter x Hunter. Think about it for a second. Now, here's something very strange that you need to really think about now about this too. Why would Togashi write Hunter x Hunter and Tokyo Ghoul at the exact same time? For instance, since Togashi came back at the end of 2011, and, Tokyo Ghoul started beginning its publication in the ending of 2011, why would Togashi try to tackle something like this? Why would he do something like this? It sounds like it's a bunch of crazy nonsense. Well, at the time, it was probably because Togashi was checking to see if Tokyo Ghoul would be popular or not. Will it succeed? Will it survive? Will it do good? Does the readers like Tokyo Ghoul? Does he want to continue it? That was the big deciding factor if these two are the same person. For instance, what makes this so possible is that he brought Hunter x Hunter back at the exact same time Tokyo Ghoul began, and he was testing how Tokyo Ghoul was doing, and if it wasn't going to do good, he was probably going to continue writing Hunter x Hunter. But at the time, I'm guessing Tokyo Ghoul started kicking off in popularity in Japan, and so he decided to briefly put Hunter x Hunter on a hiatus, and he ended it on a point to where everybody could kind of be satisfied at that time. For instance, chapter 340, and it kind of was like an epilogue almost. That's where HUNTER x HUNTER 2011 ended at, and if you think about it, it's very strange how it kind of ended like that the exact same time Tokyo Ghoul started kicking off in Japan. And as time progressed on, you slowly realized how the artwork of Tokyo Ghoul started to improve over time. You could say it might have been how Ishida was getting used to the tablet of drawing, but what really throws this off is like I said, on the April Fool's picture, the artwork is way too similar to Togashi's art style, and Togashi uses hand-drawn artwork. This looks hand-drawn. This does not look like it was used through a tablet. So it's very weird how the similarities are between both of the mangaka's artwork. And another strange thing that's very, very strange is this. If you did not know, a little bit of a fact for you. If you do 1,000 minus 7 multiple times, if you've read Tokyo Ghoul, you should know about the famous line in the series of Tokyo Ghoul Part 1, 1,000 minus 7. And, you know, that's what Jason did to Kaneki, and then Kaneki eventually used that line throughout the series. If you do 1,000 minus 7 and eventually continuously minus 7 from 1,000, continuously go down, you will get to 349. Now, you're probably thinking, like, okay, so what the fuck does this mean? Like, 349. Hunter x Hunter, the manga, ended on chapter 349. It went on a hiatus right before Tokyo Ghoul Part 1 ended on chapter 349. Now, think about this one now. If you do 1,000 minus 7, and you keep going down by 7, you will eventually get to chapter 143. For instance, you'll get to 143, and that is what Tokyo Ghoul's Part 1 manga ended on, chapter 143. Ishida loves using numbers, he loves using tarot cards, and so he foreshadowed when the series would end. He even foreshadowed on chapter 72 that it was halfway before Part 1 of the manga ended. But it's very weird how 1,000 minus 7 also eventually equaled up to 143 chapters, if you think about that. And it's weird how Togashi randomly ends his manga on a long-ass hiatus on chapter 349 that can be used with the 1,000 minus 7 treatment that Ishida uses in his manga. It may be a strange coincidence, but it's very weird how of all chances, Togashi would leave his series on that chapter number that could be linked to 1,000 minus 7. Now, you can think I'm probably a crackpot theory. I'm just bringing up these random crackpot theories, and you're like, oh my god, Chibi, shut the fuck up. I know some of you are probably thinking about that. But if you think about it, there's a lot of coincidences between Hunter x Hunter and Tokyo Ghoul. Like I said, I'll go back to my previous point. Ishida studied underneath Togashi. Togashi takes no assistance. He doesn't. He has no assistance, he doesn't want it, but somehow Ishida studied underneath Togashi. But there's another strange thing you need to actually think about on top of this, too. The other strange deciding thing about this is, why would Togashi go underneath a different name? That is something that many probably are already asking, probably already asked thousands of times already in the comments. Let's explain. A mangaka, when they make a famous work, let's picture Kishimoto from Naruto, the mangaka of Naruto. When you make a famous work in Shonen Jump or any magazine or anything, okay, it's going to get a lot of popularity if it becomes famous. It will get a lot of feedback. And for instance, Kishimoto, he made Naruto. If he was to ever go off and try to make a new manga series, for instance, if Kishimoto was trying to make a new manga, the manga that Kishimoto would make would be compared to Naruto's standards. For instance, does it live up to Naruto? Is it as good as Naruto? Is this series as good as Naruto? For instance, this series will be constantly judged. For instance, the new series that Kishimoto would make would be constantly judged to his previous work. And this is something that instantly stands out why someone would want to have a blank slate. For instance, why they would want to change their name and not have their original author name. But there's more to this if you think about it right now, and it makes a lot of sense. If you did not know, Togashi Yoshihiro ended Yu Hakusho early. He ended it on a note selfishly. He even says this in an article. He ended it because you had to where Shonen Jump was controlling his series. Like, Togashi wanted to do some certain different ways with his characters and different routes, but Shonen Jump wouldn't let him. So Togashi selfishly ended his manga series and just was done with it. He's said and done. He just forcefully ended his manga of Yu Hakusho. And after that, he eventually got around to making a new manga series called HUNTER. And here is something very strange about this. There was a lot of people in the past that used to bitch at Togashi and complain at him because he was writing a new manga series when he decided to just drop Yu Hakusho and end it so early when it was just now getting to a very good point. For instance, he ended Yu Hakusho, and now he's making HUNTER, and people were constantly comparing HUNTER to his previous work that was very successful. And so he got tired of that, and he decided to have a blank slate, start a new manga with a new name. And think about this right now. One last thing to top off this video before I end it. When Ishida states he studied underneath the mangaka of Yoshihiro Togashi, it was actually Ishida studying under Togashi as him being Togashi, and then now taking a new role as Ishida. And it makes a lot more sense when you start thinking about the situation of Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is a series that uses split personalities. Split personalities. Kaneki, Sasaki. Think about that for a second. Think about the correlation of Yoshihiro Togashi and Tokyo Ghoul. And then the situation of Shinobu Sensui at the end of Yu Hakusho with the new situation that Kaneki Kin is currently in. Now, if that doesn't make you open your eyes to maybe a possibility this can be true, I don't know what can. But for now, that's just a theory. That is a manga theory / anime theory of the authors of HUNTER and Tokyo Ghoul. If you can debunk my theory, please do in the comments below. But if you have anything to add, please also add in the comments below. Now, I'm not saying that this is 100% accurate. I'm not saying that this is proof that everything is correct. This has a possibility of being wrong. It has a good possibility. But I wanted to make this video just to showcase that there is a very good chance that Ishida could be Togashi. So, everybody have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.